Hey, Draft Drive, Migz here, and I'm with Kurt Loosenort.
That's it. That's the one. Yes.
Nice meeting you, Kurt.
You too, sir.
Thanks for spending time with us today. Here we are with some amazing cars. Tell me, how did you get into McLaren?
There's a lot of different jobs within the company. In this position, there's no real direct route, honestly. But I started working for Scion at auto shows 15 years ago. And I did really enjoy that. But then you meet some people, you get another opportunity. Hopefully you do a good job, you get another one. And eventually I got a phone call asking me to join this team.
Well, apparently you've been doing some great jobs to be where you are right now. Here we are at Amelia 2021. Thank God for Florida. Everybody is out having fun, right? What do you think about this? I mean, when was your last event?
This, 1 year ago, I worked for McLaren at Amelia Island right before everything shut down. There were a lot of people. I mean, it was actually a crazy thing because there were a lot of people and there were all the conversations. I remember specifically the conversations like, well, there's only like 12 cases of whatever this is right now in America. Like, is it really even a thing? Because this was, it was a little earlier in the year. We had the 765 LT because Geneva was canceled. So all of it was just starting to shut down. And then just a little over a year later, this is my first event back with McLaren.
Do you want to show us one of these cars?
I do. I'm going to start with the ELVA. Because this one, the ELVA right now needs a lot more exposure. This is something that is really new and fresh and exciting for McLaren. It's just not as well known. I do have to back up, and I have to say, the ELVA name and this body style come from Can-Am racing. Most people are really familiar with McLaren in Formula One and McLaren in Le Mans with the F1. Not as many people are familiar with McLaren in Can-Am, where they were actually by far the most dominant. And as opposed to Formula One and Le Mans and NASCAR and everything where there's very clear stipulations on what you can build to race, Can-Am was nuts. Can-Am was maniacal. It was no holds barred. You run what you brung. This is like original era UFC style, no rules, no weight class kind of racing. And McLaren killed it. They had a car called the ELVA that Bruce himself would win races in. It was actually French for She Goes. She goes, she bangs. It was an incredible success, right? In bringing out this new car, it wasn't just to capture the name and the body style, but really the essence of the car. And people come up to this car all day, all weekend, trust me. And they say, what the hell is this? And then they say, wait. There's no roof? No. There's no windshield? No, it does not exist. There is no roof, there is no windshield, because in addition to retaining the name ELVA and the body shape of the original car, it's supposed to evoke the insane essence of Can-Am racing. This car is crazy. The stated purpose is an overwhelming, intense drive experience. So don't ask me any practical questions about helmets and rain. Basically, that doesn't stop people from driving superbikes. This is a superbike you can sit down in and you can share. You can manage the experience just like you would with a motorcycle. But this car is 2,600 pounds. It is 804 horsepower, 590 pound-feet of torque. It is an absolute menace. But as much as I love every car McLaren makes, you cannot recreate the experience of being in this car in any other car. So if we just start with that. We start with the fact that it's crazy and it's intense and it's overwhelming, and just accept that. I don't have to convince anybody that this is the right car for them. We're only making 149. If we find enough lunatics who love what this car does, then we're good to go. I will say, though, it does actually mitigate the lunacy a little bit. Right up here is a huge factor for the ELVA. These vents are not intake. This is actually a ram air system that will create a literal windscreen. There's a small air dam that pops up in front, and then air is inducted through the bottom of just above the splitter, and then it is blasted at high pressure up, out, forward, and away from the car. By the time it curls back over, it's above the passengers' heads, creating essentially an air canopy for the people in the vehicle. You can have a conversation in this car at 60 miles an hour. It is not going to stop rocks. It is not going to stop birds. So yes, you should still wear a helmet. But it is going to eliminate the mass craziness of all the air in your eyeballs when you're driving up to about 90 miles an hour. Above that, you're on your own. And yes, you should still wear a helmet. But we do already have some reports of this vehicle being driven in light rain with nearly miraculous effect. It basically looks like an animated force field, or from in the car, like watching water drops hit a Rain-X windshield. Absolute madness. This is one more little fun part, okay? You're not gonna get a good look at this mirror right here, but you don't need to. This rearview mirror, I'll just cut right to the chase, is terrible. It is worthless. You know all the stories too about like classic racing with the crazy regulations. Everyone's seen Ford versus Ferrari when Ken Miles just says, oh wait, you need the trunk to be a certain size? That's ridiculous. Let me pound it out with a hammer. This mirror is not even really a mirror. That's chrome. It's not glass. It's not big. It's not adjustable, and you can't even see if you have bugs in your teeth. Don't worry, you do. But even whatever reflection you get is not pointed in a way to provide you a view of what's behind the car. This accomplishes exactly one purpose, and that is it ticks the box that legally says, yes, we have a rear view mirror. That's it. And I just love it. Even the way that it's tacked on there is like, all right, it's done. Let's go driving. That's really the point of this car, and that's it. This is it. With this power, this performance, this experience, you can put everything else aside, and just say, yeah, jump in, let's go driving. Next up is the Speedtail. Now I got to be a little careful. You're going to see the ELVA, you're going to see the Artura, you're going to see the Speedtail XP10. We made this banner before we had the final plan. What I'm going to show you is not the XP10. Just to explain that, this is a very low volume product. When you do something with this few production numbers, you have to develop a development fleet. The XPs are the development fleet. This is not. This is actually a personally owned Speedtail. One of the first questions from the ELVA and from this one, again, is just what am I looking at? And so many people will come up to both of these cars and say, this is a concept, right? This is not production. A lot more people are more familiar with McLaren, but the goal from Rob Melville, even before this car was finished, was to put out a car that is hard to believe is actually production. We all go to the shows, we all see the concepts, and we fall in love. And then it hits the showroom and you're like, well, it's kind of been neutered. It's not as cool. It's not as crazy. I'm not as interested. This is a production of what really rationally should have ever only been a concept car. The Speedtail is a Hyper GT for McLaren, and most people will recognize right away the 3-seat position in the cockpit. And for a McLaren fan, that's all immediately going to reckon back to the F1. And I want to make two things perfectly clear about the F1 and about this car. The point was never to have 3 seats. The purpose is to put the driver in the absolute perfect driving position. That's really the point. Then, incidentally, you have some space to fill, and why not allow for seats on each side in the back for proper balance and to bring some friends? That is really the purpose. And honestly, as much as that is a bit of an homage to the F1, it's where the similarity ends. That car was built for the purpose of racing Le Mans. This is a Hyper GT, which means you have absolute performance and comfort and luxury. And when you look at this car, you think about luxury, there's 2 different versions of luxury. You can look at the Stone Estate in the countryside, or you can look at the Frank Lloyd Wright house. This is the Frank Lloyd Wright version of luxury. It's modern, it's clean, it's simple, but it is just as much luxurious. Thank you, sir. So we'll talk about the powertrain, right? Let's do that, because this is quite different. McLaren pioneered hybrid technology for the sake of performance with the P1. It had not been done really before, and we're doing the same thing here. This is a twin-turbo V8 hybrid that is producing 1,035 horsepower, 824 pound-feet of torque. The entire vehicle, from the cabin to the body panels, is carbon fiber. You'll see a lot exposed throughout the vehicle. A lot of it is painted with just the right angle. You can still see the basket weave. But this car has a dry weight of under 3,100 pounds. With that powertrain, that means it has a top speed of 250 miles an hour, 0 to 60 in less than 3. But as fast as those are, and it's always impressive, McLaren is never chasing 0 to 60 or top speed. It's usually, with all the track-focused vehicles, the net result of the lap time. And that means 60 to 160. How does it handle? How does it corner? How does it turn? With this car, even though it is not the highest speed production vehicle in the market, I don't want to say it's negligible. Top speed performance it's worth fighting for. It's incredible engineering. It's a real accomplishment. But when will an owner ever use that extra 30 or 40 miles per hour? 250 is enough. And 0 to 120 and 0 to 186, there's nothing faster in the world right now. When you look at Speedtail, you are looking at a really long, really dramatically styled vehicle. But it is all functional. The proportions of this car, the shape of this car is all incredibly aerodynamic. And you'll even see people ask about then the caps on the front wheels. Those are also functionally aerodynamic. You can make the most slippery vehicle in the world, for which this is obviously a contender, and you're still going to create a lot of turbulence with the front wheels. That's going to take care of that as well. These stay stationary while the wheels spin. Controls the air around the car, makes everything really smooth and slippery. Chris Harris said driving the Bugatti Chiron, which is an incredible car, you drive that at 220 miles an hour, you let off the throttle, and it just kind of grinds to a halt because it's got a massive power plant, but it's a big, heavy car. You let off the throttle at 220 in this car, and it just continues to glide because it is so effortless and so streamlined. Those are some of the biggest aspects of the car. We also do have, though, rear view cameras instead of rear view mirrors. That and the 3-seat design make it technically, not officially, entirely road legal. But they get driven, and they get driven a lot, and we love to see that. However special this is, however rare this is, we want these cars on the road, being driven, being enjoyed by the McLaren owners.
Favorite car, favorite drive, favorite song. Paint the picture for me.
I'm going to be really bad at the song part. Okay. I really, really am. So I'll just accept that. Oh, no, I got it.
Genre, maybe?
I got it. Nope, I got it. Okay. I can't not do convertible right now because it is just way, way too nice. It's absolutely gorgeous. All right. And you could ask me this question every day for the rest of my life, and I would probably have a different answer. I really, really might. But I am going to say, like right now, AC Cobra convertible.
Nice.
Right? So now I need location?
Yeah.
All right. I love...
You're not going to get fired for this, right?
No.
Because it wasn't McLaren?
It wasn't. It wasn't. All right.
You could have asked Bruce this question. He may have said the same thing.
Exactly right. And I mean, we love there's so much amazing stuff out there. Yeah. And I have to go vintage. Yeah. I have to go old school. And I love all of that. So I'm just going to say that. And then even though I love Florida, being from Michigan, I'm loving the sun and the palm trees and everything else. How you doing?
Thank you.
Even though all of that is true, I'm going to decide a little bit extra this weekend. So I'm going to pick somewhere a little cooler. I'm going to go right now.
Canada. Don't do it.
No.
Don't do it.
You know what else is coming back?
Don't do it.
Not doing Canada.
Don't do it.
It's coming back officially.
What's coming back?
Monterey's coming back. The Monterey Car Week is coming back. So I'm going to say...
California? There's going to be activity in California?
It's going to happen. So I'm going to say right now, though, like California, Northern California Mountain Road. So I'm going to put it out there where it is still sunny.
You don't need to convince me. That's like one of my first drives in California was with you guys in a McLaren.
All right. So that's where we are. And
what are you listening to?
I love this song in every single iteration. And there are many, many versions. And
this is going to be a long story, I think.
They always are. They always are. But I might not even know the official title. That's okay. Okay. The song Feeling Good.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Bublé.
Go. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel.
Yeah.
Birds in the sky, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life, and I'm feeling good. Da-dun, 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 dun, dun.
Kurt, thank you so much for spending time with us today,
man.
showing us the cars, McLaren. What an amazing story, how you got involved here. Appreciate
Yeah.
you spending time with us today.
Got it.
Thank you. Until then, we'll see you on Drive Tribe.